In this video, we'll cover various options and settings in StarCraft. Taking the remastered version as an example, after launching the game, the main menu includes single-player, multiplayer options, collections, hotkeys, show credits, view intro, and exit. I won't show credits and view intro here. Feel free to check them out yourself if you are interested. Hotkeys. This is where you can modify the game's default hotkeys, which are new to the remastered version. Those in the original version can't be modified, so there are some awkward hotkeys, such as Protoss Pattern, Pattern Bunker, and Patrol Command. If you are a new player, you can leave this alone for now. Play around to get a feel. If you are really struggling, then make changes. As far as I know, among pro gamers, the most common ones are Patrol to Q, Pattern to BE, Probe to E, Siege Mode to T, Irradiate to R. Some pro gamers are completely comfortable with their old habits and haven't changed anything. I personally haven't either because I am too lazy to adapt. However, the downside is that if you haven't practiced for a while, it's easy to slip up Patrol and Siege Mode hotkeys. Collections. Here are skins and voice packs you purchased. The cartooned skins are also equipped here. Options, as the name suggests, are game-related settings. Let's jump into speed. First up is game speed. No matter ranked games or official matches, the fastest game speed is universally used. All subsequent game times are based on the fastest game speed. New players are advised to use this speed too. Next, key scroll speed and mouse scroll speed. The speed at which the screen scrolls when you press the arrow keys or move the mouse to the edge of the game screen. The arrow keys are rarely used in actual gameplay. They are primarily used by observers during official matches to reduce the mouse jitter and provide a better viewing experience. The mouse scroll speed depends on personal preference. Play more and find which works best for you. Most pro gamers choose the middle setting. Mouse sensitivity. Adjust the mouse movement speed. When disabled, the OS mouse speed setting will be used. One thing to note, there's an option in Windows mouse settings, Enhance Pointer Precision. This is actually mouse acceleration. When enabled, the faster you move your mouse, the farther the pointer travels. In practice, this significantly reduces accuracy, so gamers should definitely disable it. Use mouse scaling. Maintains consistent in-game movement distance across different resolutions. That is, if you are in full screen mode and your mouse moves 1 inch horizontally, the in-game pointer moves 1 screen width. In windowed mode, the same applies. Some see that disabling use mouse scaling makes the mouse more responsive. So if your game resolution doesn't change frequently, it's recommended to disable it. Hardware cursor. When enabled, the OS controls and renders the mouse pointer. Otherwise, the game itself renders a separate pointer. With use mouse scaling on, the pointer is controlled by the game, and hardware cursor is no longer available. With hardware cursor enabled, the most noticeable change is when hovering over a unit or building in-game, the cursor becomes smaller. Thus, players used to the original game may be more comfortable with disabling it. This setting is up to personal preference, and pro gamers have their own choices. Use mouse confine when enabled keeps the cursor inside the game window when in windowed mode. It's a must-have for players accustomed to windowed mode. Unless you plan to watch game replays while doing other things. Next, sound. Unit speech is primarily the notification sound when a unit is produced. Pro gamers often have it on.
My life for hire.
Unit acknowledgements are acknowledgements when a unit is selected or given a command.
I long for combat, for a boon. Thus I serve. Honor guide me.
For Zerg players, turn off the building sounds when you are annoyed by the buzzing when selecting the main base. Original unit voiceovers. This setting is generally used to maintain English voiceovers, even when the game is set to a non-English language.
Yes, sir? Right away, sir.
Video. Display modes are divided into windowed full screen. Compared to windowed full screen has a lower performance overhead, but the former allows for faster switching between other applications and the game. Gamma correction, in simple terms, adjusts the game's brightness and is only available in full screen mode. Enable FPS cap. Also reduces unnecessary performance overhead. SD graphics filter affects the visual effects of the SD graphics. Selecting sharp results in sharp pixel boundaries and a sense of jaggeds. Filtered, on the other hand, may resemble the visual effects of CRT monitors of the past more closely, but it adds some sense of soft focus. Enable vertical sync. The GPU waits for the display to finish displaying the current frame before processing the next. If the GPU rendering speed exceeds the display's refresh rate, it has to wait, resulting in delayed processing. Therefore, competitive players rarely enable this. If you are observing others or watching replays, you may consider enabling it temporarily. HD graphics. The F5 key allows you to toggle with one press. This is primarily used to allow Protoss and Terran to start their first worker faster after the game begins. Since in 4:3 aspect ratio, the main is centered on the screen, allowing for selection when screen is black. Environment effects. I didn't notice any difference between on and off. If you know any, share in the comments please. Real-time lighting provides more textured and contrasty graphics than most pro gamers believe it has a negative impact. Observers of official matches often enable this feature to provide better video quality. A few pro gamers also enable it from time to time. Smooth unit turning. I've set the game speed to slowest and had the dark overlord circle above the main. Observe for yourself, the effect is minimal. Shadow stacking. When enabled, overlapping air units creates darker shadows. Pillar box. This uses the 4:3 aspect ratio as the original game. With this enabled, you don't have to press F5 key to toggle back and forth at the start of each game, as the main is always at the center of the screen. Game Timer, a feature added to the remastered version, displays game time. This is extremely helpful to advanced players, allowing them to accurately assess their opponent's build orders and optimize their own ones. Enable color cycling. Applies the color cycling technology to certain animations in SD graphics, such as the flow of water, the flickering of lava, flames, and hollows. Disabling this removes these animation effects. HD graphics utilize model rendering techniques and are unaffected. Show bonus skins. Bonus skins are given to players who pre-purchase the game, primarily affecting the main bases of the three races and the consoles at the bottom of the game screen.
하는 게 불가능할 것 같아서
Display APM in-game. I suggest all new players disable this. In my experience, it tends to be more misleading, making you excessively focus on this number. Neglect what's truly important, and even create bad habits. However, APM isn't completely useless. We'll discuss it in more detail later. Network. It looks like this from the main menu. prefer port 6112. The original LAN game will communicate on port 6112. The remastered game uses a dynamic hyport, so this is generally not required. However, network looks like this from multiplayer games. There are 3 latency levels: low, high, and extra high. When creating a game in Battle.net, there's a turn rate option. Its values are dynamic, 8 to 24. Turn rate is the number of turns the game performs to synchronize commands every second. The game will not proceed to the next turn until all players have submitted their commands for the current turn. A higher turn rate means a shorter command collection cycle. Theoretically, the best scenario is commands from the current turn take effect in the next turn. However, to account for factors like network latency and computer performance, commands are usually executed after a certain number of turns. If the current turn is turn 0, latency level of low indicates commands take effect at turn 3. High and extra high take effect in turn 4 and 5, respectively. Therefore, in this case of turn rate 24, each turn takes 1000 divided by 24, or approximately 41.7 milliseconds. Taking into account the time of the current turn, the maximum response time is 41.7 multiplied by 3, or 125 milliseconds. Therefore, the maximum network latency allowed for a smooth game with turn rate 24 is 125 milliseconds. This is why the worse the network conditions, the lower turn rate and the higher latency level are required. Dynamic turn rate means the program automatically adjusts based on the current network conditions. If you experience lag between gameplay, you can set the latency level appropriately. Many players don't understand this setting. Under good network conditions, the default no level is optimal. Any option else only increases execution latency. Here's a table showing the maximum acceptable network latency for each turn rate value and the game latency level. The latency here refers to a two-way latency and doesn't take other conditions into account. It is for reference only. In multiplayer games, players establish a UDP connection between each other. The server is only responsible for matchmaking, NAT traversal, and game statistics. Therefore, interplayer latency should be of particular concern. By the way, in the original game, the default turn rate for Battle.net is 8, while for LAN it is 24. The turn rate for LAN is still 24 in the remastered game. When creating a game in Battle.net, there's an unit limits option. In the original game, if there were too many units on a particular map, the game would prevent the production of units, the construction of buildings, and the casting of spells. Anything in the game that requires tracking of partition, lifespan, target, and other attributes. Selectable units, buildings, projectiles, and spells is considered a unit. This event caused the Valkyrie to not fare, leading to the race battles that occurred in the late stages of Terran vs. Terran.
Don't keep me waiting. I am eager to help. Don't keep me waiting. Achtung! Jawohl. Perfekt.
자, 업그레이드 차이가 납니다.
자, 확실한 싸움을 위해서 몰래까지 내는 올랐는데요.
다시 한번 발키리!
자, 발키리! 자, 골략까지
지면은 그냥 내줄 수밖에 없는 상황이에요.
예, 일방적인 골략만 보지 않으면 빼면 됩니다. 들어오는 소모전을 지속적으로 해줘야 됩니다. 자, 먹었죠.
다 잡아먹었어요. 더 해야 됩니다. 이걸로
The remastered game increased the unit limits, and this tactical system has since disappeared.
Eager to help. Don't keep me waiting. Achtung! Did something destroy? Don't keep me waiting.
That's all for this episode.
Achtung! Jawohl.
Thank you.